their way onto the field at Eden Park for the first game of this Nick Smith Auckland Nines. A sellout for both days. That's a massive success for the organisers and the City of Auckland. And I think this event is around for a long time to come. Paul Gallen will lead out the Sharks. Bit of football action for him this weekend, and he's in the ring on Wednesday night for his pro boxing debut.
So as Gallery, his team out, the Cronulla Sharks. I really think the coaches and the clubs have selected the most athletic and skillful players in their rosters. If you ever look through, and you haven't looked through the team sheets here, as Newcastle enter the field as well for this first game, you see the guys that can handle themselves the best one-on-one, not only in the attacking frame of the game with skills and offloads, but also in the defensive style of the game.
And the Wayne Bennett coach Newcastle Knights take the field also. Plenty of regulars, so much experience in this Newcastle side. They've gone with the idea that you need guys who've been there and done that. We're going to win this form of the game. It's the 2020, I guess you could say, of rugby league. And Todd Carney is ready for action. Ben Cummins will kick things off as far as our referees are concerned. It'll be a busy weekend for the men in pink also over the course of the next couple of days, with 31 big games to come. Andrew Fafita, what an inclusion for the Sharks as well. The Nines are on. Let the entertainment begin as Todd Carney gets us underway. The crowd roars and it goes down to Mullen, who hands it off to Chris Houston, who will work it forward. The tactics in the opening sets of 6 will be fascinating, Darren.
Yeah, certainly will. And just to give you guys a bit of insight, the first kick-off will be a regular kick-off off a kicking tee, and everything from there on in after the start of each half will be a drop kick.
Wait, go.
Kuyuwate playing as it goes to Mullen. Now Jeremy Smith. Very much a conventional set of 6 to begin things. The boys keen for a bit of action on the sideline as Mullen turns it back onto the inside. Jake Mamo, who's an absolute speedster. He was almost away and grabbed there just by Jonathan Wright. Out of dummy half, they come to Roberts. A short ball. Leilua holding in one hand, but lost it in the tackle. It'll be a knock-on by the Knights. It'll be play on for the moment. Stapleton out of the in-goal area will bring it forward. It'll be play on there for Cronulla.
Great work from Newcastle. It was interesting to see they went to the middle of the field and put Roberts on one side and had playmakers both sides as well, with Mullen on the other. Then they come back through the middle to give some space to Leilua. Poor carry.
It's a dangerous combination, though, for the Sharks' defence. Leilua and Iwate. The Sharks come to the left-hand side, and there is Billy Iwate making a tackle on right as Fafita shoves it through Gardner. It goes away to Gallen. And he'll just walk it up towards the 40, midway through this set of 6. Carney kicking early, in behind them. No fullback as such for the Newcastle Knights. Iwate was just floating behind the line there in case a kick came in. He anticipated well. And he'll play it here about 20 on his own side of halfway.
An interesting ploy from Todd Carney in the kick. I don't think he got it right at all. Uate had dropped back. Maybe he saw some space. But as you alluded to, Warren, no fullback. So Newcastle going to play defence with wingers dropping back and covering.
Wait.
Here's Houston. Ball to Mullen. And then a bit of width again for Beau Scott, who turns it back on the inside for Mamo, who's already shown what he can do. He was part of the Future Blues program with Laurie Daly inviting him to camp before Christmas. And the New South Wales coach said he is an absolute speedster. Speaking of speedsters, here's a chance for Gagai down the right-hand side, looking to pop it. He'll be wrapped up there just inside the Sharks' 20. Leilua, a dead end. He finds Roberts, a wide ball for Mullen. They're short, as you would expect, but favouring the kick was Stapleton, who ducks under a high shot there from Beau Scott, and he'll bring it out from the in-goal as well. Another great piece of work.
Oh, brilliant work, but great work indeed from Cronulla. Gagai and Leilua down this right edge for Newcastle. They're having a field day to start the tournament, but Cronulla just holding on. Fafita up through the middle.
They've done well, the Knights, to make the Sharks work it away from their own 20 on both occasions, from inside their in-goal, in fact.
Forward there, Chris, last one!
And they'll play it here just outside the 30 on the last, and again, Carney won't get the kick away this time. Coming through was Houston. The ball's gone back to Cronulla, and he'll say knock on.
What about the pace of the game, Warren? We wondered how it would all go. There's hands on knees, there's interchanges coming now. Some believe the interchange is the key to winning this tournament. Short bursts of your players and get them on and off as quick as you can. Willie Mason!
Off an offload from Leilua. He ducks in behind a runner and gives it straight to the Sharks. Blake Ashford, the former Tiger, comes up with a big intercept. Now Carney on the counter-attack, wanting Feki to come with him, and there he is coming across, and cover was Gagai. Now a ball back on the inside, picked up by Tyrone Roberts. Nobody in front of him. Gardner is chasing, but it's Roberts. Tyrone Roberts, who opens the scoring in the Auckland Nines for the Newcastle Knights.
It has been end-to-end at a pretty frenetic pace. Not sure they can go like this all day. Brilliant work from Cronulla in getting the ball out of their own in-goal area twice now, and then they ventured up towards the left before making a mistake, and a ball was tossed into the infield. Keep an eye on Tyrone Roberts, just covering indeed, puts the wheels on. You watch Gardner come across, the former Parramatta player. He thought he could get there, but he buttons off, does Roberts, and scores a 4-pointer. Of course, we should note as well that a 5-pointer, if it's scored under the posts, as this drop kick's taken. Oh, she's a ripper.
Outstanding from the sideline from Jared Mullen to add the extra 2 points. And it's the Knights who lead the Sharks 6-0. And can you believe we've only had 5 minutes of action? It feels like half an hour has gone by already.
Fatiguing up here as it is.
Tremendous run by that man, Tyrone Roberts, and the scorer will recommence play in the Auckland Nines this weekend. So the man who slotted the field goal supplies the restart, and the Sharks will get to do it through Blake Ashford, who picks it up inside his 20, gets away from Robbie Rocco. Extra metres here for Ashford, and the Sharks have had just no field position in this opening 5.5 minutes. They'll get some here in this set. Sam Taggart-Teasy bullocking his way towards the halfway line, playing it quickly. And out of dummy half, they come across to the right-hand side. Todd Carney will play it there. A dummy half for Manu Brown, and then a ball back on the inside. The Taggart-Teasy was touched.
Back out now. 0.
Michael Dobson it was, who got a touch on the ball. Fresh on the field for the Knights. They get another set of 6. Wade Graham fending away from Gagai. He's a handful as well for Leilua, and then they feed in. A big shot from Zane Tetevano. Little rib check there for Wade Graham. As Holdsworth, Daniel Holdsworth, out there now in the number 7 jumper for the Sharks. They go quickly. Here's Brown popping a ball, and scoring is Sam Taggart-Teasy. Just bursting through from close range, and he scored underneath the uprights in the bonus zone. It'll be a 5-point try, not a 4-pointer.
There's just about too many cooks in the kitchen for Cronulla, as they're all working their way to dummy half to see what was going to happen. Brown puts a beautiful ball on for the big man. Taggart-Teasy, he's about 120 kilos and 6'6", storming onto it there 2 metres out. Won't stop him. 5 points.
Daniel Holdsworth from right in front makes no mistake, and so courtesy of the bonus point, scoring in that rectangular box behind the uprights, all painted gold there. Taggart-Teasy diving into the middle of it. That's worth 5, not 4, and as a result the Sharks have a 1-point lead.
There is so much space. Short kick off here from Holdsworth around the right. Beautiful pickup. Attack the ball, Marmo. Lovely work.
A couple of impressive touches from the youngster on the wing. Here is Tetevano. He'll take it to the Sharks 40. A great chance for the Knights to respond.
That was conventional, the first conventional play we've had.
And on the right-hand side, Robbie Rocco playing it inside the 30. Dobson comes to Tyrone Roberts, who's back out there, and a forward pass. Called by Ben Cummins. Didn't look to be too much in it.
Killer Uate. I guess it gives the wingers also a bit of license to go infield and really look for some football as well, instead of staying traditionally positioned out wide. This time Uate picks up a forward pass. Fafita works the ball back in for Cronulla. What sort of pace has he got?
The big man trying to wind up, fending away from Tedovano. Marmo, though, does well by dragging him down. Fafita on the gallop as it goes to Holdsworth. It bypasses Carney. Now Matt Pryor, the former Dragon, in black, blue and white this year and taken to ground heavily.
2 minutes.
And we're going to have Leilua, was it? Was he said knock on? In fact, that's half-time. It's going to be half-time in a second.
I don't hold the buzzer, so you've got 2 minutes.
There is the siren. And at the break, the boys are sucking in the big ones. Why wouldn't they be? It is warm and hot here in Auckland. The Sharks lead the night 7-6.
Which way they go. Just be alert to which side they go.
Okay, Todd, you're 1 point ahead. You got the first bonus point try. Just quickly, your first thoughts of the Nines.
Oh, it's definitely as expected. It's going to be fast, but as you can see, it's not as easy to score points as it looks. There's some fit athletes out there, and it's wearing our peaks of our powers at the moment this time of pre-season. So everyone's fit, everyone's firing, and it's going to be an entertaining week. And I just can't wait to sit back and watch after this game.
Best of luck.
Cheers, thanks a lot.
Todd Carney took them on a couple of times and didn't find a way through, but the Sharks eventually, the first time they had some field position, were able to crack them. But it was the Knights who got things underway with Tyrone Roberts scoring off an exchange of play. It was counter-attack on counter-attack.
Well, I don't think there was any real style to start this opening game of the Nines. It was just offload at will and take some space when it was available, and turn a little bit to custard for the Cronulla side because they had a great attacking opportunity. But when they didn't get some football, they started to play through the middle, and then Brown, it was a lovely ball, some great timing for early in the season for the big fella on the outside. Darts from dummy half proving pretty crucial in this opening half of the Dick Smith Nines. Also people putting their fingers up, looking forward to get off as well. Fafita here puts a great fend on, and straight after this run, he covered about 40 metres. He put his hand up and said, get me out of here.
Here you are, Jake Marmo playing in the big time for the first time, and seeing Andrew Fafita of New South Wales and Australia, no less, coming at you. So the second half, we're underway. The Sharks by a point, and as Gallen, well, they turned it over already. There was a knock on. Out wide, it was Ricky Latelli putting it down. It wasn't a great ball, it has to be said, from Paul Gallen, and gives the Knights a chance to resume the lead. Here's McKinnon coming across to Beau Scott. Fafita beaten for pace, although Scott's ball over the top, intended. Support on the outside finds the touch judge.
Yeah, a couple of poor passes here, one from Gallen to start it, and the next from Beau Scott. But they quickly get the ball and back into the play and play on with the touch. Important.
Up now, Alex! Hold it, hold.
They've had by far the better of the scoring chances, Newcastle, but
That's right, Todd.
turned over a couple of soft turnovers. In great position, the Sharks get a penalty.
Be quick,
Carney
Alex.
finds the line quickly.
Hold
They'll have
there.
it at their own 40. Michael Leisha tapping it, giving it
Out of there now, Bo!
away.
Up with
They'll
it,
play it
Andrew.
there just short of the halfway line through Andrew Fafita. And now Carney giving it to Graham, getting past one and another one. Rocco unable to wrap him up. Tedovano was there.
Lovely skills with the swivel and the tackle, made an extra 10 and ball still available.
Leisha searching out of dummy half, not much doing for him. Nathan Stapleton was headed infield. He decided to take the tackle as Gallen finds Holdsworth. Goes to Carney. Holdsworth once again had Leisha in support. He found Gallen though. He fires it out the back. Carney, too much speed from close range. The Sharks extend the lead, and it's Todd Carney who dives in to make it a 5-point buffer.
Paul Gallen, he might have thrown a horror pass to start the second half down the far end of the football field, but a run right through to the middle as only Gal knows how. And then some pretty skillful play. I haven't seen this from Gal too much. Look at this. Takes a contact. Had a swivel in there as well. Two-handed pass back to Carney. Puts on the burners and reaches out. But the work's done by Gallen. Lovely work up the middle.
That's a mark, so you're going to just make sure. Yep.
That is dangerous. You can offload like that from close range. It is hard to stop a player of Todd Carney's speed and power. Holdsworth misses with the conversion attempt off the drop goal attempts. It stays at 11-6. And that will be a big relief for the Knights within that 5-point range. Todd Carney will get us back underway.
Highlights the fact that the try scorers restart play. for those of you just joining us.
Kuyuwate bringing it out, tackled beautifully there. Nice effort around the legs by New Brown. It goes across through McKinnon. Here's a chance, Mullen, a show and go, and he's away. They lure just a little bit off the pace in trying to loom up in support. Mullen still going though. He must have beaten 4 or 5 of them. Inside the Sharks 40, from Smith to Rocco. Comes across to Uwate, 2 in from the wing, stepping. Tagatese got a piece of him. He dumps it out the back. Good hands from Scott. They keep it alive through Smith. Mullen likewise. Gives it to McKinnon. Rocco looming up in support. He puts the foot down and charges at them. Only 10 metres out with tackles to play with. McKinnon, Uwate, just trying to crash his way across. Great tackle by Nathan Stapleton. Smith it is. They go to the right. Mullen, a kick was pinpoint perfect. BJ Leilua with the catch. It was a pass with the foot, and the Knights have a chance to go back in front.
Aku did a lot of work here. Nearly got himself across the try line in front of the post. And then a beautiful kick. You know, I don't know if he's actually got this perfectly right here. Here's Mullen when he made the bust. Beautiful bust upfield. Didn't throw a speculator. Important to maybe take the tackle and go. And then right here, well, the way that ball rotates, I'm not sure it was a conventional kick or exactly what he wanted. But it was perfect for Leilua.
And the kick, the all-important kick, is good. And the Knights once again have the lead at 12-11.
I saw the Newcastle Knights in the hotel yesterday. Would you believe they were playing tennis for the warm-up for this competition?
As good a preparation.
BJ Leilua, he's not much of a tennis player. He sort of batted it back occasionally. But both Scott seemed to have the handle on the racket.
Jeremy Smith with the restart for Newcastle. That was one of the things for the teams in the build-up. Everybody, it was the theme of the last 2 or 3 days. Everyone saying, we don't know what to do in preparation for this. But the basics, always a pretty good place to start. And that was nothing more than basic for Jared Mullen. He careened it. You're kidding, Darryl. Now a quick penalty, a tap, and Gardner is off. He brings it up towards the halfway line. He'll be stopped there by the try scorer, BJ Leilua. 12-11 with 3.5 minutes remaining in game number 1 of the Auckland Nines as Carney is off. Chased and dragged down from behind by Gagai. The feeder at dummy half. He goes through the hands there of Aceford. Gallen. Wider still. Graham to Gardner. They look dangerous, but there are plenty of numbers defensively there for Newcastle. They've done well sliding across the field, but the play develops further. Gallen back on the inside for Graham. Spins away from Leilua. Gets away from another. Leilua comes again to stop him from scoring. A couple of metres out. A ball out in front for Manu Brown. Did he get there? No, he knocked it on.
Manu Brown thought he was there. Just dislodged from his hands, a metre short. The skills of Wade Graham. I thought he was a player to watch in this competition. Just with ball and a sleight of hand, not the biggest guy, but a great creative back rower. He was marvellous. His Fafita wants a bit of an argument over a pork pie.
It's hot in Auckland. The boys are steamy at the back end of the game, and there was a bit of a disagreement there for a moment.
Let's go.
The Knights won't mind a breather. The referee wants them to go quickly, which they do, with 2.5 minutes remaining.
Daniel now.
Still time for the Sharks.
Go.
As Tedovano works it up towards the halfway line. He'll be stopped there by Brown, who's been impressive in this stint. He's played plenty of minutes as well. Now Uwate running towards Holdsworth, who wraps him up one-on-one. Jeremy Smith getting a breather. There's no dummy half for Newcastle. Beau Scott was looking out to his left-hand side.
Good work. Holdsworth, first to tackle one-on-one was a tough job with Aku, and then to get the ball from dummy half. Wright goes on a bit of a sortie.
Josiah Fecchi on his outside. He comes back on the inside, though. Now Gardner linking up through Graham, bouncing off defenders once again. He's still going, Gardner. Eventually dragged down, and a good tackle by Dane Gagai with some help. Holdsworth just outside the 20. Graham trying to get away from Beau Scott. Not too many managed to do that.
Here. Go. Thanks, mate.
3 tackles gone in this set. Holdsworth. Oh, a hospital pass for Matt Pryor. Tagatese under pressure. To be wrapped up there by Beau Scott. And this will be the last right here.
Go.
Here's Brown going wide. In fact, it was Michael Leisher out there at dummy half now. A chance. Draw and pass. Thecke. One more. Gardner hangs on to it. With 60 seconds remaining, Nathan Gardner gives the Sharks the lead.
Great work. Nathan Gardner tries to improve the position. But what I like about this was the last play. Didn't look for a kick. Had some numbers out there. The pass was hard, it was flat, and it bounced off his left shoulder. Have a look at this. But good composure, just to balance himself and reach out with the right hand, regather the football and put it down. That'll be the game, or close to it, for Cronulla, as Holdsworth will take his time with a conversion.
No, he's taking his time, mate.
Pass play option, good shift of the football from Cronulla. They have moved it in the second spell from right to left with good execution.
A chance for Holdsworth from out wide to add the extra 2. That misses.
Watch the short kick off, both boys up.
And we'll wait and see if the Knights can get to the restart. Get the ball back up the field at once. Todd Carney supplies it. 15-12. Barely 10 seconds remaining. Carney. He goes deep as you would expect. Jake Marmo to bring it back. He puts the foot down and pops the ball out the back. The siren sounds. This is it for the Knights. Roberts, he goes to Houston. He puts a kick in. Now a chase, but it goes into touch. And it's the Sharks who take the opening contest of these Auckland Nines at Eden Park. 15 points to 12 they've won. And coming up next, we're going to have the Tigers up against the Titans.